Live.
Live, okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's popping up on the screen.
You're good.
We're good?
It'll
Okay.
pop on your screen now.
Oh, there we are. Yep. Now, just a little delay. A little delay.
So if I swear, you got the button.
Yeah.
Do we have a button? A swear button?
We do.
Oh, my gosh. Don't test it.
Wait. It's on. Wait.
He wants to test it. He likes doing it.
Yeah.
He's like me. We can't hear it, though.
Yeah, you can't. We got the applause. I think it actually goes to one of the inputs. So that way, like, if someone does it live, it cuts all the audio off and makes that beep sound.
Okay.
Which I don't know how practical that is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You'd have to be really ready for it.
Yeah, you got to be really ready for it.
All right. Well, welcome to Shine.
Yeah, welcome. Good to see you guys today.
It's
good.
We should. Well, we talked about a vision of our Shine. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, we were talking about, like, there's been like a little transition of the Shine because it started as just you pretty much, or sometimes me and you, or sometimes me and you and a guest, where we talked about, it was all
Are you
positive.
ringing? Is it me?
It's you.
Ringing. That's you ringing.
Oh, I don't know. Talked about all positivity. You always had stories and lessons, and then when we switched to this podcast style format, it's kind of like
Me against you.
doesn't fit the same. And yeah, now you're pitching this whole like me against you thing. So this positive
I'm not pitching a me against you. I'm pitching a conversation. but
conversation.
our
It's just
natural-
naturally me against you. Okay,
It
I get that.
is.
That's true. That's fair.
I'm not saying like.
That's fair. I get that.
All right. So
Good.
just a conversation of
Yeah,
us.
okay.
It's a Shine conversation. And then we said, so the vision is whatever we're going to talk about, still have a positive spin on it.
And like, who are we? Like, what are we bringing
That's
to
who
the?
we are.
That's who we are. We bring a positive spin to all kinds of things, but it might be pop culture. Last week we talked about the Super Bowl. It might be something more important than Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Might be something.
That's not important.
Well,
Very important.
I mean,
He did sacrifice to go on her jet to fly all the way to Australia to be with
it's a
her.
fun little pop culture story. I'm happy. I like
You know what I'm
it.
saying? That when you like to sacrifice like that,
It's like
Oh,
be a great boyfriend.
Absolutely.
Your girlfriend sends you.
send you a private jet to fly you to Australia.
I'd go.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be like, yeah. Now, I did saw a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not because you don't know the internet. But allegedly, Jason was a backup dancer on her show. I don't know, with no shirt
No.
on. I think it'd be funny.
I think
she
it'd be
would do it. I
hysterical.
think she would do it.
I think it'd be hysterical.
But I'm saying, like, it seems
Yeah.
like when I'm getting to see
Yeah.
her, like, I think she would do that. Like, I
Yeah.
think it'd be fun.
It's
I don't think
silly.
think she takes herself that serious.
Yeah, I think.
I
you're right.
think obviously she's a very
serious
serious
musician, but
musician
not
and-
like
and show, but I think
yeah.
she would probably say that
yeah,
would be fun.
That would be funny, right?
Like, I'm
that
gonna
would
walk
be
him
funny.
out, his hairy belly, and dance with all those dancers. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
But I saw that, but I don't know if that is necessarily true.
I don't know. That's a good idea, even if it's not true.
But yeah, so
so
this
just
whatever we're
positive
gonna talk
spin on
about,
whatever we're going to talk about.
And most of the time, it will be us against
Each
us.
other. And we have lots of these. I guess this is really, it's like us bringing the conversations we have in our life most of the time at home around the kitchen table or,
Yeah.
bringing them here because that's how we live our lives. Yeah, we talk
So
about all
peek
this
into
stuff.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. This is us.
Yeah.
We're not.
That's a movie. Is that a?
It's a show.
It is a show. Yeah.
We didn't watch it yet. It takes us
A long time.
forever to watch a show. It takes us
Our
forever.
boys
to
don't like
watch
that.
a
They
show.
hate getting involved in any show.
We
with
don't.
us.
We're not good binge watchers.
We watch Squid Games, and literally, I think it's only like. Do you watch Squid Games? You see the new one? Did you see the original one?
Yeah, I've seen the original.
So then they have one that's was actually they did it, but they had like it was kind of cool. So like the red light, green light, they had pellets in them. So like if you moved, they would explode it on you,
Oh.
And you would fall down.
and they would act like
out.
some people would act
Yeah.
like they're dying. You know, so then
That's
even
funny. That's really good.
yeah. So they all get like basically kind of like shot if in all the different games. So it's like this, but it's an actual.
But they
they're gonna
remote
win.
control pop
I
their
think it's
little.
$5 million.
I don't
It's
know
a
what
good
it is.
amount of money
That's
they're
a lot
going to
of money.
win.
Yeah.
And they stay in the same thing. They do,
never
obviously.
saw the
you're
original.
just
I
not
only
gonna
watched
you're just not gonna die, but they do.
Yeah.
It's a contestant. We've only watched 3 episodes. I think
know,
we're
it
terrible.
takes
Yeah.
us forever.
Anyways, so we're not good at that.
It
Anyways,
takes us forever to watch. We do like watching shows. We just don't. spend that much time watching shows, so
No.
it takes us forever.
So, let's go back into the week. So last night we got to do something fun.
Last night was awesome.
Oh, it was kind of fun. It was fun.
Last night was awesome. We drove to Columbus, Ohio, where the Columbus Fury was playing against the Omaha Supernovas. And so it was.
Just so anybody I don't think I'm the only one. I can't be the only one. Can I?
I don't think you're the only one.
So I thought there's a Nova, and it just was super. But that's one word.
It's one word.
You know that?
I didn't know that.
See, he was a good science student in middle school.
I was like, what makes a Nova super? And he's like, no, it's one word. That's a thing.
Supernova. It's something to do with the star. I think
It's an exploding star.
an exploding star. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
So
of
it's
like
like a lot of power. I think that's the thing. You don't have to take it so literally.
I just don't think they. thought it.
Anyway,
Fury
so
is really good.
the Fury was good.
I
And they
like
had a
that
really
name.
cool logo.
Cool name, like Be the Fury. You know.
That's sweet.
The Fury, the Fury logo was cool. So it's the very first professional women's volleyball league in the United States.
Yes. And Columbus's first home game.
And Columbus's first home game was last night.
But
so
we
it
were not
was-
there to support Columbus.
We were, no, because we are Supernova fans.
We were
for
Supernova
sure.
fans because of Bert Kuhn, who is
Yes.
the interim head coach, our good
Yeah.
friend. We've talked to her many times, and she watches Shine, and
Yeah.
her mother watches the Shine, and
So it was an epic
It was fun.
experience.
Yeah.
It was sad to see the Supernovas lose, but it was cool. I mean, there was more than 9,000 people in Nationwide Arena to watch women's professional volleyball. It was awesome. They did a whole little intro about the history of women in sports and just how far we've come. Really, in my lifetime, it started in 1972. Was the video where there's some kind of change in the government? I should know this, and I don't. But there was some kind of change, and then it started, becoming more and more. And now we have professional women's volleyball in the United States for the first time ever. It was awesome. So good.
it was good. Good
was
volleyball.
great.
It was really good volleyball. Just
And
didn't
it
work
was-
out. It was funny. So you usually stand on the last point, and so we were obviously outnumbered.
Yeah,
not very many
I think there
Supernova
might have been
fans.
35 Supernova
Yeah,
fans in
I
the
think that's
crowd
it. And
out of the 9,000.
my brother was there, my younger brother, and so the first game they all stand up. I look back to my brother standing up. I'm like, bro, you can't stand up. He's like, what do you mean? I can't see. I said, we don't stand up.
Yeah, you can't stand up. You
Yeah,
can't.
so we only
support
got
other
we got to stand up one time. They
did.
lost 3-1, and that was epic.
So it was
good.
a cool experience.
Yeah.
I
It's
would
great
definitely.
to see Bird. We don't get to see Bird enough, and
No, it
we
was
got to go
great
down
to
on
see
the
Bird.
court, and we just ran down there and saw her, and
Yeah,
it was great.
I would go back. I would go back and watch more games for sure.
I'd like to go to Omaha watch a game.
Yeah, I'd love to see a game in Omaha. We need to plan that.
Yeah, we will.
That's good.
We will for sure.
Yeah, so wherever, find your
Yeah.
local women's
Yeah, it's good.
pro volleyball.
If you like
team.
volleyball, it's a different volleyball. It's a lot of defense, a lot of blocking, a lot of digs.
Intense. Man, these girls can dig out anything.
Yeah, they're
It
tough.
was crazy. It was good.
So we did that.
That was
I'm
fun.
training for base camp. All my stuff is starting to filter into the house.
So if you see Nick not sitting in a chair, if he's standing around anywhere, he's standing with a backpack on with 40 pounds
30.
in it.
30. I just
30
weighed
pounds.
it. I thought, I had 40 in
30-pound
it. I
backpack.
had 40 in it. Kind of hurt my back. I was like, maybe I got to work up to it.
So you're carrying a backpack around everywhere.
Everywhere.
So tell them about your experience, because some people are like,
Some don't say nothing. Some most people think like, are you leaving? Like that? Are you getting out? Are you going out hiking right now? I'm like, no. It's like a full. His backpack is like big.
it is big.
They're like, I just wear. Some don't say nothing. They just kind of look at it and they won't. I think they're just embarrassed not to say. It's funny how many
They're probably
people
like, wonder.
Yeah.
They're like,
What's
what are
this
you
guy
doing?
Some would be like, what are you doing? Some that kind of know things would be like, are you training for something?
Yeah.
You know.
No, you're training for something.
Yeah. And but it's interesting. Yeah.
So you got about a month, a little more than a month before you leave for base camp.
Yeah. I think we're gonna end up going. What did I say? The 30th. I think it
you
takes
leave
2
March
days
30th,
to get there by the 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's interesting. I just watched a guy who just went up there. I was watching a little bit of video, and he's like, when they just went to, they went to base camp, and it's actually a tour group that we're going with, and the same guide that we're going with, they went up to a peak, and he said his immediate headaches, and so you live like in that headache thing, and I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward for the pain.
Good for you, not me.
Like I think it's gonna be like one of those things that's not gonna be because he was
I
sick.
don't
Like
think it's going to be any fun.
the last.
I mean, I think it'll
4
be
days. He said he was sick, so he was sick for 4 days.
if you're feeling terrible, it's not going to be any fun at all. I don't think you should look forward. I don't think you should want to feel bad. You want to enjoy the experience. You want
I
to.
think I will though, because it's like anything else. It's like I didn't enjoy walking up
Grand
the
Canyon.
Grand Canyon or Leadville or any other or 9 hours of burpees. That wasn't no fun. But I look back now, it's like having a baby.
Yeah.
Now you think about it, like when you look at
So
it,
you don't remember the misery and the pain and the
Not really.
exhaustion and the
right?
yeah.
You remember that, but you think that was a
Remember
great
the-
moment
Yeah. All right. Okay. That's good.
as a mother. I got you right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good. I think that's a fair
You know,
analogy.
you had 24 hours. When we went Lewis, you had 24 hours, and you think
Yeah.
about it. You don't think about like, but it really, it's hard for you to recreate that pain in your brain.
Yeah.
But you can recreate
Recreate the-
when you saw him
The
for the first
result
time.
and the the
And then when you woke up,
emotion
then, yeah.
of yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay. All right. I can understand that.
We agree.
In that way.
Mark
I
it
can
down.
understand that.
That's
There's
a-
one.
What
There's a
time is it?
one where we
Give an
yeah.
applause.
I actually agree.
I think this one
So-
we're gonna just go on.
Do you know the death factor for going to Everest Base Camp?
No, because I don't look at that. But I'm sure you have.
I do know. I do
What's the
know.
death factor?
0.03%.
So 3% or 0.03?
0.03%. It's a
Wow.
very low death factor.
You have to look up the death factor of driving your car. It's probably more than that.
I would guess it might be more than that. Yeah. So, yeah.
So you feel pretty good now.
I feel pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. You've
So-
been worried.
I have been worried.
But
I am still a little worried.
I'm
Not.
gonna
I
send you
mean, I
the-
don't think you're gonna die, but I think
I'm
that.
gonna send you a video. It's a 2-hour video
Okay.
of like he does the whole. He's a
The whole-
blogger guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like because he's
No, it said. So what I read was my 5 minutes of Everest Base Camp investigation was, you pretty much need general physical fitness. You don't need to be in great physical shape. You don't need to be super athletic. You don't need to have any climbing skills or technical skills in the mountains.
Right.
You just need to be able to have general physical fitness to do the hiking and carry the pack.
and even the pack you don't have to carry
And then
because we're gonna get it.
and
Now
then
you
the
could
death
have a
rate.
yeah.
They said, of course, if you're summiting Everest, the death rate's much higher. But if you're just going to base camp, most people make it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people make it out. 0.03%. That's a lot of. That's a good. I feel comfortable with that.
I feel like that's a number too. Like they had to have something else going on.
Yeah.
I mean, that even that small percentage, there's probably people that had like other
Something
conditions
conditioned. Yeah.
or
Well, I
did something
bet.
stupid.
I would like to
or,
see what the
Right.
Grand Canyon is because I mean, there's deaths in Grand Canyon. A lot of times,
Well,
when we did Grand
You
Canyon,
were in the Grand Canyon. Every single place that we stopped, all the gift shops, there's a book this thick of stories of people that died at the Grand Canyon.
right?
And I'm like, this was not a
Well,
good
but
idea.
a lot of
I don't
times I
think this
think-
was a
because
good
I think-
idea. He shouldn't be doing this.
I think the Grand Canyon is the problem with the Grand Canyon is like we watch people, they think, oh well, I'm gonna hike down the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Like, and you hike down it, it's not that hard.
the
well,
down's
but you
not
have to-
that hard.
What's that?
The down part's not
Down's
that hard.
not that hard, and you kind of
Getting
fool
back up.
yourself.
Yeah.
You kind of like
Yeah.
you fool your brain because you're like, and you know, and it gets hot. And we were even when we were coming down on the north side, there was a family. I mean, they're carrying kids on their back, like holding babies,
Yeah.
and they have no water,
Yeah.
and they're halfway down the north side when we were going up, and I'm like,
There's not a lot of, yeah. So
There's no
just be
water
smart.
on
And
it.
if you're
Yeah.
smart and you're prepared, you're going with a tour guide, you have a whole plan.
we have
you
a porter, we have
help,
a
you
tour
have- yeah.
guide. We're
So,
doing,
yeah. I don't feel scared. I just think,
I'm
I
not
still
scared. I
think,
think this is gonna.
I'm
I think
glad.
it's gonna be awesome. You're in these teacup. I mean, you don't do any. It's just like you literally, like I was telling somebody this morning. I think the pace is gonna be a factor because there's no hurry.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna get to this. These tea houses are literally
A hut.
like half of the size of our room here. 2 little beds. They're not heated. There's no showers. You got no hot water, no shower, very little electricity. They heat it with yak dung is how they heat if it gets really cold, you burn poop.
That's nice.
So you're really not like there's nothing to do. Yeah, I'm not bringing a book because I don't want to carry the
You
weight.
don't want to carry the weight.
No, so you don't have no books. You
so
don't
it's
really.
good. That's good. You're gonna be like kind of old school, low tech, enjoying
tech, and you just-
nature,
yeah.
enjoying each other,
So you just
enjoying your
casually
company.
walk. You're doing like,
Yeah.
it's not like you're doing like the first 4 miles. It's 2 to 4 hours. Like I don't know if I can walk that slow. That's an hour. That's like you don't even walk that slow. Like you walk really slow. You're like a 22, and you.
I know. I don't ever walk as fast as you ever.
Anyways, even like yesterday, they couldn't keep up with me yesterday. I was trying to get down.
It
I almost hit one kid, and everybody raises a stink about it. He got right in front of me. I'm trying to get to it, and the kid wouldn't move.
It was a little girl carrying a big old tub of popcorn. She was about this tall, and Nick's on a frantic
Trying to get down.
pace to get.
Gonna learn. That's the only way to learn.
He like almost bumps into her, and like you were.
And we had a standstill. She wouldn't have moved. I almost had to give her the stiff arm. I didn't, but I almost did. Like, trying to get going here.
Oh my gosh.
So anyways,
Anyway.
so I'm doing that. So I'm training. I mean, obviously I'm in Ohio. I'm in Tiffin, Ohio. I have no altitude.
Yeah, we live at 750 feet, I
I
think.
can tell you exactly. We're at 820 feet right now.
820
I think that's because we're
We're
up 2 stories.
upstairs.
That's part of it. Yeah.
So you're going to be at what, 19,000 feet at base
No,
camp?
so base is like I think base camp is 17, and then we go to 20,000 after base camp's Lobichet is like another. And there's actually hopefully in this video we get to go to another peak. There's one that because you can't see Mount Everest from I didn't know this. You don't
base camp?
from base camp you can't see it. So there's another one where the guy that went it was really busy because a lot of people were going there, and they decided when they were on their way they're like it was packed because April's about the time everybody's getting there. Okay. It's a good time for us to like for base camp people want to be there to see
who's going up to summit.
Who's going up to
you'll
summit.
See groups that are going
yes,
there.
They're there.
Summit.
They'll be there when we're there. Like they're just getting there, and really they're starting to go up their base camp too. Coming up and down. So that's where they obviously base camp. They prepare and they go all the way up to where they're to the next stage where they go, and then they come back down. So they acclimate. They'll be up there for a day. Then they come down for 2 days.
I didn't realize that.
And
so
heal.
It's not like go and
no. So
knock you
everybody
out.
thinks it's like go
Climb
to
the mountain.
from base camp. To base camp to camp 1, I think it is, and I don't know at all.
just
But to
keep going
camp
up
2,
till you hit the end.
till you get to the end. No, it's like you go up, you come down, then they do the Hillary. You learn to do the. They practice ropes courses at that high, so they do ropes. So it's a lot of training, a lot of. So you're up
I
and
didn't
down.
realize
It's
any
like
of
it's a 45-day to 60-day commitment. I mean, of what they to do, and then so a lot of people want to go there at this time. So if it gets too busy, I think his name's T-Lock is going to be our guy. He took him to another. It's like 18,000, so about another 1,000 foot up that you can see a great view of Everest.
Okay.
And then you come back down, and you literally only spend like an hour
up there
on base. It took these guys 4 days, 5 days to hike there, 5 days, and you stay an hour at base camp, and then you hike down. I mean, you don't.
So
they
it's
don't
more
want
about
you
the
staying.
journey.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's really what it is. It's
Yeah.
Just
So you're not
hiking.
sleeping overnight at base camp.
No.
Oh. Okay, I didn't realize that.
No, they don't let you sleep. No, I don't think.
I thought you were staying at base camp for a little while. No. Okay.
No, it's up. Hey,
Pictures.
Yeah.
Get out.
get out.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So you're probably thinking, what the hell are you doing? It doesn't make any more sense to you, does it?
Yeah, right. It makes even less sense to me now than.
Well, and you can't even see Mount Everest from where you're
I
going.
didn't know that. No, you can't see it. Not from base camp. I think you can see it on the way there, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see it you'll be able to see it a lot because the thing's huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just when you're at base camp, I think there's another, wherever it is, blocks the view,
Okay.
something in front of it. So, because it's down low.
You better get some pictures of Everest for that.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
I got you.
Bring pictures home.
Oh, I will. And myself.
And yourself. And yourself. Well, yeah. I mean, if you bring pictures home, it's you bringing the pictures home.
I think we're going to try to zoom in
What do you mean?
with you and me on
Oh,
the
really?
Shine.
Yeah.
Because he thinks we could zoom in because it's at what I say it'd be 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So I'll just zoom
Is your
in.
phone going to be able to, if you have no
Depending on where we're at.
electricity, how are you going to charge a phone? I don't understand.
They have solar. You got to pay have to pay for it. You
Okay.
pay for all that. I looked at this lady. She had a one power bank, and then she took 6 GoPro batteries
Okay.
with her. She said for the whole trek she didn't have to. She just rotated them out.
Yeah.
And then she would. I think she kept another one charged I think when she got to 4, but she ended up not running out.
Okay.
But I ran out. I don't know what I did wrong, but my battery ran out at the Grand Canyon for some reason. I don't
And
know.
that was only 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was because of I was doing a high. Would that you think the battery to eat more was just on high definition? I think.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
If you were doing like,
I did the highest quality.
yeah, and there's probably other stuff going on in there with
In
the
the
high
back
quality stuff that makes it way more. It'll just eat.
Yeah,
the
she just
battery.
turned her battery off. I mean, her phone, she had it on low battery mode and on airplane mode.
Yeah.
So it just because there's
Right.
nothing.
You don't need.
Yeah.
There's no cell towers.
No cell towers, no. But she did have her Garmin, the InReach that I had, because that shows you right where I was at.
When you were in the canyon.
Yeah, but you
It
didn't do
only
the
showed
InReach.
me.
This one.
It only showed me when you were, near, not near the, but like on the, when you were down in the canyon from at the bottom or near the bottom to the other end near the bottom until you got halfway up or ish, then it would show up on my app. So I only saw you down.
Not this Garmin.
I don't have any idea what Garmin was.
The
I
other
just
one.
had a
Remember
little app.
That little satellite that I was able to text you.
I just had a little app on my phone that had a map and I could see where you were, but you went down and then I lost you until you were all the way coming up the north side, then I could see it.
'Cause I probably
And
won't.
then you were gone until, I don't know,
I probably won't have my Garmin on because the battery.
won't last.
So
It's all right. Good.
awesome. All right, well, that's good. All right, let's get into what we're talking about.
Okay. That's not what we were talking about. I forgot. What are you going to talk about? Let's hear it.
So we had a discussion today, and I said we need to bring this on the shine.
This was our morning breakfast
This is our morning
discussion.
breakfast conversation. I think that's kind of like I said. It's true. I was talking to somebody. I said, just talk about your conversations, and it was. We were like, and I think we agree on this one. But talking about healthcare and doctors, and obviously, I'm not a real doctor. My kids even say that. Dad, you're not a real doctor.
You're a chiropractor.
I'm a chiropractor. I'm not a real doctor. So I feel like on Hangover, remember he's a dentist? He says, I'm a doctor. No, you're a dentist.
You're a dentist, not a real doctor.
I love it. So how's it going too? Anyways, so we're talking about like doctors and when I grew up, I mean, and I think, even the older generation of my dad, you went to your doctor, it was like that was law.
Mm-hmm.
There were no
You do what the doctor says.
there's no question. There is no questioning. It's more of like the dictatorship. Like pretty much you walked in, doctor told you to do this. There was not a lot of discussion. It was like boom, 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 go, and that's it. I mean, and that's how people grew up. Their doctor said it, they did it, no matter what it was. And no matter what drug it was, no matter what the side effects were. But
the difference when your father was growing up to now is the amount of pharmaceuticals that were available for prescription were a fraction of what's available now.
But even then though is like a different, even for physical therapy. I mean, I remember Dad used to talk about it. It's because doctors would prescribe therapy, and it was like very, very. They ran every.
Actually, when I was doing full-time physical therapy and working with the older population, so this was like 15, 20 years ago, working with the older population, they would oftentimes say the words like, I'm going to take my exercise. They were like taking exercise like they were taking pills.
Right.
So, like they would take their exercise every morning. They would take their exercise after dinner. It was like interesting to me. They were talking about their exercise like a prescription from their doctor.
Yeah.
Like they would take a tablet or a pill. Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah. And and so we were discussing this morning, just, options. She has a little bit of cholesterol.
So this is how it started.
She's a little worked up
This
about
is how it started.
her cholesterol.
For the first time in my life, I had a little bit of a high cholesterol reading, like a little bit high. And then I had another cholesterol test, and it was up a little bit more. So 6 months later, it went up a little bit more. So I understand, like, up is not good. But I got a call after my blood work from the front desk girl at the doctor's office that said, I don't know if you saw, but we got your lab work back. Your cholesterol is up and there is medication waiting for you at CVS. Go ahead and pick it up.
And that's typical.
I think that's crazy.
But I know, but like we talked about, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's typical where I'd say 90% of the population, that's what they want.
But that's so the medicine they want me to start.
I went for a problem. Here's my solution for your problem. Take this.
No
right?
discussion of side effects. No discussion of why I should take it, other than my number was up. No discussion of why I should take it. No discussion of side effects. No discussion of any other medication I'm taking. No discussion of any other risk factors I have. No discussion from my doctor at all. The discussion was with the front desk girl who said, go to CVS and pick up this drug that you're going to be on for the rest of your life.
Right, but I think though that I think
Not
that
happening.
because it's a low
Not
end
happening.
statin drug is very low
I
end.
don't care. It's terrible.
No, I understand. But you understand, like, you're unique, and that's what the discussion about is. That's what we kind of talked about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But everybody's, don't you think? Oh, I see what you're saying. Like I think everybody's unique. I think the doctor should have a one-on-one conversation with every single person about their individual situation.
But here's
not
the thing,
have the
though.
front desk call and say, go get your statin at CVS.
So let's get down to the business
Not
end of
happening.
it, okay? Because on a low end for a doctor who's getting paid less, okay, than they were before.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, so now I got to go through because that's our problem. Because that's our system.
Problem.
Yes, it's more of a, and I don't blame all the doctors because I think it's a problem where it's like, okay, so now you're paying me less money, and I don't get this because my insurance has gone up. If I get an 8% increase, it's not even a double digit. You should be thankful. No, F you, I'm not thankful. Like the insurance, you know what I mean?
Button right there.
I know. It's like, it's like I'm not because the insurance companies keep on. It's funny.
So we pay more.
We pay more, but the doctors are getting paid less in a lot of ways.
No,
and so
get that.
So it's like more time, and I think
so
they look
they're
at it
making less money
to spend less time. Yes,
to spend less money.
They're not getting paid to educate you anymore.
Right, I know.
They're getting paid to say there's a low level statin drug, which I agree because I think there's too many. I don't even get my cholesterol checked. I don't because you know why? You know what I'm going to do?
Well, that's not a great.
But I don't eat crazy.
I know.
I eat pretty good. I exercise. I'm carrying a 40-pound backpack, 30-pound backpack.
So I am like.
So
what are you saying? I'm unique because I actually want the conversation.
Yes, and you also you want the conversation. You're also saying, okay, what else can I do?
What else can I do?
That should be my last.
That's the first thing I did.
We're not against. We're not against drugs. We had cancer, and we went through the
chemo and
process.
the radiation.
You know what I mean? Where
surgery.
we could have went natural, and it's not. That was something that was the choice that we made.
But also the other thing I did. I mean, I guess that is just my perspective on all of this. What I did was we decided to go through when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. We decided to go through with the chemo and the radiation and the surgery, which was the very medical path to follow. But then I didn't. Like once I found the team I was going to work with, and we decided, and we talked.
You trusted them.
That team talked me through every single thing we were going to do, why we were doing it, why it was recommended, why based on my diagnosis this was the actual path. So I had that conversation with them. I trusted that, and then everything from there on out that I focused on was what could I do. So what things could I do to help me? What things could I eliminate that could help me? What things could I?
Yeah.
So I focused on what was in my power.
But you also though you said a key thing was we established the trust of the team.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, granted, we kind of knew what each team and what each player was and how they were. You know what I mean? So like your surgeon.
Yeah.
Okay. Surgeon was pretty much this is what I'm doing. If you wanted me to save your life, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it was like there was no discussion. Yeah, that's fine. You want to have it? You want not to? You just go somewhere else. But this is what I feel. And he wasn't mean about it. It was because we were talking about having a mastectomy. Of why don't you just get them both? Because you know why? This one on this side is not my worry right now. If something happens there, it's going to delay your chemo. It's going to delay the whole plan.
And I'm here to save your life.
And I'm here to save your life. I'm not doing it. We'll handle that afterwards.
Yeah.
Which he did. So it's good.
So, but it was the same discussion that I want. It was just his way of delivering it.
Yes.
It was not very.
No, but he was matter of fact.
It was very matter of fact.
Yeah, matter of fact.
Which is fine.
Which is great. But then I'm saying when, the estrosol and when, you talked about other drugs, they'd be like, okay, here's our other options. And when you'd have that conversation, like, okay, how you doing? Is there anything else you can do? Okay, if this is, here's the side effects. These are what we got to watch for.
Right.
Here's our other options.
If you do have side effects you can't tolerate, here's your other options. Yeah. Here's what happens if you don't take it. Here's the risk if you take it. Here's the risk if you don't take it.
What do you think? They would be like, what do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And they were like, this is what we recommend.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. And in this case, and I agree with you. I'm not saying, I guess there's too many people that aren't like you that I think that's what we're saying where doctors do become, not all of them, but there are doctors that are dictators that say my way, and they're general practitioners, just your regular doctors, right? They're very dictative in their approach. They don't want to hear, what other options do I have? Okay, the ratios. This is what I saw. Because the problem is this. If they're arrogant, the issue is this. Because there's a lot of stuff on the internet that people can learn now that they never could before.
Yeah, which I think is part
good
of
and bad.
It's a very helpful in many ways, but also a big problem in many ways. I get that. Because then people try to
be their own
doctor, right?
Which
from their YouTube research.
Yeah, and there's
which sometimes it's helpful, but
sometimes
it could be.
I think if you're
it's
willing
helpful to be educated,
to have that discussion. If a doctor, that's kind of our approach though. Is like if they're not willing to have that discussion with you, and you are that person that needs that. I mean, if you just want to listen and I'm going to do what you tell me, and like the statin drug.
So we had the discussion this morning. Like, I'm gonna probably find another doctor. Yeah,
you're gonna look at yes, but you're also looking at
a different type of doctor. Yes, I'm gonna look at a different type of doctor.
You probably have that in some part of your team. I mean, you won't, but you're looking for something else that's gonna say, hey, what else can I do? A different.
So I'm gonna look for, they call it a functional medicine doctor, which takes a more holistic approach to treating patients. Yeah. And I think it's gonna be a better fit. So that's my research for this week to find.
Yeah. And and it's like I said, it's. I think what we're saying too is like we want to empower people and empower you that your health is your health. Yeah, that's on you. I mean, and just like the statin drugs. I mean, the problem is there's a side. That's for cholesterol, and I'm not telling you to get off it, not get off it. I ain't telling you anything. All I know is for me, the muscle soreness. I got enough muscle soreness without a statin drug. Yeah, and. A lot of times that's what...
there are options, and I'm not against it at all. I'm just against the approach that I was introduced to it.
Yeah, and like...
And I don't...
Yeah, that's I think is our system.
Yeah, I get that.
It's a system problem. It's a reimbursement problem.
So we're not fixing that today. No. But so the conversation is just finding... finding a team that I
think everybody is like find a team like I do believe though if like even like chiropractic I'd have people come to me and say, well, what about this? My doctor said to do surgery. I'm not against surgery. Yeah. I mean, here's my opinion on surgery. Yeah. This is what I think. If you want to do it, I'm not.
But it's also your body. I mean, the patient.
If you feel like you need to do it,
be ultimately.
Yeah. I remember,
charge.
And
education.
There's a Joe Rogan, the biggest podcaster ever. But he had a chiropractor on, and I don't know if I think we talked about it. He had and sometimes he kind of takes on like the guest. I mean, like he'll talk to the guest. I mean, you Devin, you heard like he'll talk on the guest, and he almost kind of like asks questions. It almost feels like he's agreeing. Mm-hmm. With the guests and she's a chiropractor basher and crazy person, and what the heck is she talking about? Like something about chiropractic, and Joe said, "Oh yeah, I went to a chiropractor. I went 3 times a week for 4 weeks. And then I went to my doctor. He said, you have a swollen disc, and yeah, you need surgery immediately. This guy treated me for 4 weeks and didn't even give me didn't even do an MRI. What quack is this?" And I almost called him up, and because like there's a standard of care, and there's also like you go into a doctor. Like I can look on an MRI, and you look at an MRI, right? 6 out of 10 MRIs are going to have bulging disc, okay, which is if you have it, okay. Doesn't mean it's symptomatic. Doesn't mean it's surgery. I did an internship for 8 weeks with a guy in Chicago that was like a 95 to 96% success rate on back surgeries. And the reason why he was so successful was you come into him with the back pain, radicular pain down your leg, like a disc problem, he would send you to a chiropractor 8 weeks. If you came back no different, he'd send you to a therapist for 8 weeks. You know different, he'd send you to a different chiropractor for 8 weeks, 4 weeks, 48 weeks. Right. Then he'd send you to another PT. So you went to 2 different chiropractors, 2 different PTs, and so anywhere between 16.
Because conservative care works.
Yes.
Most of the time.
And then if you weren't better after that 16 to 18 weeks,
then you go to surgery.
And you know what? He had a great 5-year success rate.
Yeah.
Because pretty much he knew, okay, this is
the hard part is getting people in pain to be patient with the process for that long, because it's, back pain's terrible. But if you if you're in misery every day with back pain,
I know.
Somebody says
I was a chiropractor for how long? Gosh, when did the boys come? The big boys. They came 17 years
2008.
Ago. When did I get my license?
1996.
So that was 10 years, 12 years. No, 96. How many is that?
Don't make me do math on camera.
Wait, 1996, 2008.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's 4 years. That's
okay.
Yeah, 12 years, right? Okay. If I got my license in 1996 and they came in 2008,
yes,
that's 12 years.
Yes. Okay.
So I was a 12-year chiropractor.
Yes.
And remember playing basketball, I hurt my back.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd always complain. Like, I'd have these people come with their back pain, couldn't get out of bed. And I'd never had it, right? So I was always like, come on.
Does it hurt that bad?
Does it hurt that bad? You know what I mean? Mm. And I remember I jumped up, we were goofing around, and I felt my my back go out, right? And so I went and she had to like take me in the car. I had to hold on to the car and like I could barely move. You didn't get out of bed. I couldn't get out of bed.
24 hours. He couldn't get out of bed for 24 hours.
I'm kind of tough. Like I tried. Like I tried to roll. I couldn't even move. I couldn't roll. Like I was like, man, I was sitting in there one time. I wasn't sleeping. I was nothing. I just couldn't move. And I mean, I couldn't physically. I tried to move and I just couldn't move. And I was like, man, there's a fire in here. I'm in trouble. Like I don't. Yeah. So I started to work myself up. That I rolled myself out of bed, fell on the floor. I literally fell on the floor and got on my knees and to get a little bit of weight on, and I started to work it out that way. That was like the point where I was like, okay.
People do have
severe
back pain.
Yeah. So I get that. Yeah.
That was a good lesson for you.
It was a very good lesson because after that point I really changed my because people be in my office, they'd be like, oh, I can't move. I'm like, come on, you can't move. Like, and I went to people's houses to see them. I was like,
you adjusted. I know.
There's more. I went there because I don't think I believed them. I went there because, we were starting our practice and I needed to make sure I could make a little bit of money, But yeah, that was a thing. So you're right. I get it. You're in that much pain.
So it's hard. It's hard
to say, hey, we even talked about
well, that goes back to
even like kids. We talked about antibiotics, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like what people want versus
like ear infections are the number one pediatric visit in the country. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the typical ear infection is a wait and see. I mean, if you look at
actually and get adjusted.
Yeah, using conservative care.
Right.
But most of the time, people get an ear infection, they take them to the doctor, the kid's crying, it hurts. I grew up with ear infections. It's miserable. And kids crying, and your doctor, you don't want your doctor to say,
wait and see.
Come back in 2 weeks.
Yeah. You want
you're not giving me anything?
Yeah, I know. And so I understand that perspective. Yeah. Like as a parent, like what do I do? How do I help? What do I do?
Right. And it's like giving them, give them an antibiotic.
Yeah. Or a medicine, right? But really, if you just get them adjusted and keep them comfortable.
It's a typical thing. Yeah. And if they keep on going, you have actually do a hearing test so you're not having any hearing, because the worry is, what if I do something, they have hearing loss, you know what I mean? And it's a wait and see game, but no one wants to go in the office, spend $80
right.
for somebody to say, come out with nothing and say, come back in 2 weeks. Yeah. So what do? They write the prescription because they're like, well, is it really, really risk reward, very, very low. There's no very, very low risk with antibiotics. Right. But the problem with antibiotics is, I had kids that were on 2 years old, on 12, 13, 14 courses of antibiotics, one every other month or some even once a month, and that's where we start getting some of these, that's a problem is long time body gets used to these antibiotics to where now you're older and you go in the hospital and nothing works. Yeah. So there's that thing, but reeling back.
Tangent. You're on a tangent. You're way off in left field.
See, you at home, I love to be able to discuss on here because she doesn't cut me off here because it's kind of like rude. She doesn't want to be real rude. At
home, I just walk away.
I'm done talking. No, you don't walk away. You say this. You say, all right, I'm done talking about this. And just then walks away. That's how I ended. I'd be in mid-sentence and then mid-argument. I'm on a cool argument. I'm on something. I'm like really, and it's way up probably like where I'm at, like somewhere not even what we talked originally. She's like, I'm done with this conversation. And just walks away. I'm like.
Or I'll say, this is my other one. I'll say, all right, I'm going to change the subject now.
Yeah, she does that too. I hate that one too.
I'm going to change the subject now. We're going to talk about something else.
Well, then you're all fired up, and then like, yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna change something now, and then it's like, okay, and this time
I'm like, okay, what are we making for dinner tonight?
Yeah, I'm like, how do you do that? That's like, no, I'm like, I'm just getting into it. I'm having fun, and then it's like, just change the subject or walk away. I'm done. I'm not talking about this anymore. Like, what do you mean? It's hard for me to have a conversation by myself.
I know, but it's a long conversation, and we're moving on. We're moving on.
I think she's
time to move on.
She's moving on already. You feel it?
Time to move on.
I'm feeling it already. I feel it. See, that's what I get. This is what your girlfriend does to you?
All this debate.
I said bait and switch,
They've been debate. They don't know if they've been together long enough.
How long you been together?
A year and
yeah, you're not there yet.
Like 3 months.
You gotta watch out. They bait and switch. Like we were just talking about downstairs. She's like, I'm not a beer drinker. I go, she used to be.
I did used to drink beer.
And I said,
beer.
You got me all. We drink beer. We not a lot of beer, but we enjoy have a couple beers.
We used to like to go places and try different beer.
Yes, and then now. And Robert, I said, yeah. So he goes, 25 years is a bait and switch.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's not really a bait and switch. I grew up. I don't even like beer anymore.
No, you really don't drink
I don't drink beer anymore. I don't like it.
No.
It's gross.
I enjoy like a beer.
It does stink because I did enjoy like trying different kinds of beers. We go local.
And now it's like
places would always like try like the local beer wherever we were. The local breweries is a big thing, and now breweries are a big thing in general.
Huge thing, yeah. We're in
I know. I wish I enjoyed beer. I just
That's all right.
don't.
I still love you anyways. So.
I still love you anyways. Good. I hope so.
Now, all right. So bringing it back into our thing, but I think
we're good.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. It's like getting a team approach and
finding trust,
having
the conversations, understanding, education.
Yeah, don't be afraid. If you're afraid to have a conversation with your doc, I think you need to have a new doc. I mean, what if he fires me? Well, then I mean,
you probably should have fired him already.
Yeah, and I was talking about this. The way telehealth is now. I mean, you can.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into that, but that's what he said to me today. I was like, maybe you should find a telehealth doctor. Somebody, no matter where your location is, they can help you and find somebody that's a good fit, which is true of any profession, right? I don't not all doctors are the same. Not all chiropractors are the same. Not all hairstylists are the same. Not all nail techs are the same. Not all insurance agents are the same. So it's no matter what the profession is, you have to find a good fit. And like, I think healthcare is just another one of those.
And it doesn't make that person bad.
It doesn't. It doesn't make that person bad. It's just not a good fit
for you.
But I don't think that we, in general, we're like, I'm going to the doctor. Like the doctor is the doctor who is just like they're all the same. Like we assume other than specialties. You know what I mean? But they're not all the same. They're still people and have different philosophies and different approaches and different levels of
like people.
Yeah, they're still people.
Yeah.
They're still people. So find a person that is a good fit with you. Yeah.
And like you said, I don't think it's somebody that, I think we could be our worst enemies sometimes, so you need somebody that is going to be honest with you and tell you. I mean, I think there's a point of that. And like it's interesting, just like a lot of different things we did. Like I really respect Dr. Caccarella, I mean, like throughout our, we've made some different decisions and with our kids and with our health and stuff. And he was one that, just, like it's interesting because he would, if he really felt strongly about something, he would say like, hey, I feel strong about this.
Yeah.
Like at least want you to want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he didn't, he didn't say nothing.
Things that he didn't even
bat an eye to, what I mean? And
we don't really want to do that. And he'd be like, okay, no problem.
Yeah. Like, I think that's where it's important for you in all aspects of life is find that team.
Find your team.
Find your team.
Find your team.
And stick with
your team.
Yeah.
And look at it like, are they the right coach for that part of your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. All right. Well, Gavin, you got anything to add?
No, not really. It's all great.
What We'll have more base camp talk probably next week. We'll
Probably
talk
next
more.
month we'll be talking more about base.
I do. I got,
So
I don't got that, but I've been doing pretty good. I don't have that much stuff. But there's a few things that I needed. I got a sleep bag cover.
We don't shop a whole lot. We don't buy like a whole lot of stuff, but we've had Amazon boxes at our house every single day for the last
I know. It's
4
like,
or 5, 6 days.
I
got
know.
new pants, you got the sleeping bag cover, you got the
New bag.
new shoes, new backpack. You got 2 pair of shoes, I think.
Well,
you got
one's,
the hiking boots and then the resting boots
Resting
or
boots,
whatever.
yeah.
Resting
You can
boots,
walk around the
hiking
tea houses,
boots.
yeah. And then I got a few more things coming that I have to. There's stuff you don't think about that you don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm like, okay. Then your weight is a big thing. So I have 17. I got a confirmation from our guides. I got 17 kilograms of weight. I gotta learn that too. Everything's kilograms and meters.
Yeah. You're as soon as you leave America,
I know.
everything.
I know. I don't know
Bunch
the
of
meters.
losers.
Yeah, we are. And so I don't know, but it's like, so I think it's 17 kilograms. I think it's 33
Times
pounds.
2.2.
Yep. 33 pounds. Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that, yeah.
I don't know. I have to get the calculator out to do the math, but
Yeah,
17
it's like
times
33, 34
2.2.
pounds is what I have of total weight for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Good. All right. We're going to talk about your packing next week. We're not
Okay.
going to dive in right now. We're going to talk about what you're taking next week.
Okay.
Because that's.
Is it gonna be cold?
Well, I don't know. It could be cold. I think it's everything. It could be anywhere from 60 to minus 10.
Have you ever watched the Outdoor Boys on YouTube?
No.
It's a recommendation.
Okay.
He lives in Alaska and he does like extreme weather hiking, camping, and like I don't have any interest in it, but it's the coolest thing to watch.
Okay. Outdoor
And he's
boy.
like this like ex-lawyer dude who's just doing it for he'll take his kids out and like build caves in the snow.
Yeah.
Like so I don't know,
That
maybe
is cool.
I don't have those skills.
The Outdoor Boys.
Outdoor
okay.
Boys is great.
All right. So remember, the
The
world
world
needs
needs your light to shine.
we need your light to shine.
And you definitely need your light to shine.
Have an
Great
amazing week
day.
and day. And see you next week on The Shine.